I think we're live. Okay. I think we're live.
We just had so much technical trouble that I don't even know where we are, what we're doing.
All I know is it says live. It says,
okay. That was a ridiculous amount of technical trouble.
We did it. We did it.
Yeah, we're here. I can't believe it. Even 3 minutes late was a small feat for that.
Refreshing just to make sure. Let's see. Just making sure that we're in there.
Yeah, we're here. We have.
Do you see us? Oh, I see us. Okay.
There. No, I see that we have a viewer.
I'm gonna close out because I don't want to mess anything up there. Okay.
Who can laugh at us that we were? Oh my God, that was ridiculous. For anybody who doesn't know, Facebook doesn't let you go directly in, and we switched software, I think, like 3 times. 15 minutes.
3 different kinds of software.
Up to 15 minutes beforehand. That was ridiculous.
Now I don't need coffee. I don't need.
No, I'm awake now.
Yeah.
I'm wholly awake now. That was nuts.
Yeah.
All right. So where is everyone? I know we're late, but
let's see.
Come join us.
Looking on here to see how where it shows how many viewers.
On the side, at least for me, I can. Oh no, not that again. I've done so much coughing. On the side.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
You totally just did.
I'm just saying hello. I'm saying hello.
You totally just did. I don't know how you did that. How'd you do that?
You can put a title up there. But instead of a title, I said hello.
Oh.
I can. There we go. There we go. We can put our names up there. Still learning on the job right now. Learning on the job.
Well, I've never switched software so many times and so quickly. All right, so we wanted to talk about jobs, new year. But where shall everyone be? Come join us.
Yeah, it should be sending notice. I think I received a notice that you were live.
I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, someone's asking. Yes.
We're here. I do see someone in there. Although it could be me. It could be me.
No, I got a notification that you're live. Anyways.
Oh, okay.
Come say hello to us, please. I've been typing in here.
Well, yeah. I'm excited to share the stats.
I know I am too. Okay, so I guess we can get right into that.
Yeah.
So some of these are really, really important, and this is why I'm always talking about starting the year off right and making sure that we're getting, excuse me, getting to where we want to be right in the beginning of the year, or right actually at the end of this one, so you know what the heck you're doing. But if you have been looking for a while and getting absolutely nowhere, it is really important to think about why and what's happening and what your strategy is, or if you don't have a strategy, or what's going on there. So just to think about some stats and some metrics. I've got some numbers here to share. 40% of hiring managers spend less than 1 minute reviewing a resume. That one is super important because if you're not making a good impression, your less than a minute is going to end up in the trash or the shredder. And you don't have very long. So if you are using a resume that looks exactly like everyone else's, whoopsies.
Right. That's really scary. I mean, that is really a really scary stat to
Yeah,
think
it
about.
is.
Yep. You have less than a minute to make a first impression and you're not there.
No, yeah, you're not even there. You're literally handing in a piece of paper and saying, here, and, and hoping that it goes well. But if your less than a minute isn't going well and your resume looks like prefab everyone else's, you've got a problem. Big old whoopsies, because they're going to look at that and they're going to go, oh, look, I saw that format 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Bored.
Yeah, but they might not even see it, right? Because a lot of them get rejected.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 If you're using the wrong format, you won't even get that far. You won't even get that minute.
Mm-hmm.
You won't even hit someone's desk. That's an even bigger whoopsies. I hate to say it, but for sure, that's this stat. Where was it? 50% of candidates are automatically eliminated by an ETS system.
Right.
So by using just the wrong format and by using some of the wrong things there, you are automatically out of there. I know you don't use an ETS system. Your business is still too small, but
oh, me, no. No, I've been doing those the voice interviews though. So, but if a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people don't even attach a complete resume. That's a new thing I'm seeing now.
A complete one?
Yeah, they're not even sending a complete resume at all. Like, there's no resume, there's just a note. And I'm like, okay, next. Yeah. I don't know if they forget to attach it or what. There's no note either.
It's an upload button. How hard is it to, I mean, I don't mean to sound like berating, but it's not that hard. This is your first impression. This is your livelihood. You would want to make sure that at least the document's complete. Holy cannoli, I didn't know anybody was doing that one.
Oh, yeah.
That one's even new to me.
Yeah, I could share some interesting stuff with you. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't, yeah. And so sometimes there's no resume. Sometimes there's just like a sentence or something. Yeah. They're just sending a sentence.
A sentence. What's that going to do?
Yeah. I wish I had them in front of me right now. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. We're going to berate them on Facebook. That's not a good idea. Okay. The other one was, this is an interesting one, and I know a lot of people tend to skip cover letters. Do you ever wonder why?
Because they're lazy.
Oh. She just sticks the knife right in.
I mean, I think, okay, it would be hard.
That wasn't even like.
But it would be hard, right? And it is like, it takes a lot of work. So.
Okay, they take a lot of work, but.
Yeah.
Because people think that they're not read. Do you want to know why the stats on them are low on being read?
Because they're too long.
I've got an interesting one for you.
Okay.
There's a well-circulated stat. Only 17% of cover letters are read, right? Do you want to know why?
Because they address them the wrong way? To whom it may concern? No. Okay.
You're being too logical here.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk to you. They're read after the resume.
Oh, you know what? I do that.
So if your resume is terrible, your cover letter isn't even getting read. So that's why the stats on cover letters being read are so low. It's because it's being read afterwards.
Mm.
And I know everyone writes them like, here's the opening, you know what I mean? This is the first document you're reading. It's really not. It's actually the second thing.
Mm.
They're actually going straight for the goods, meaning straight for the resume. And then they're going to go for the cover letter, which is so interesting.
That makes sense though, because I don't look at the cover letters first. I will, when they come in, I'll click on the attachment and I'll look. If there's not an attachment, then I just don't, you know. I mean, sometimes if I have a lot of time, maybe I'll be like, what are they thinking? And I'll look into it a little bit. But usually, yeah, I'll click on the resume. And if they don't have relevant experience or their summary or something is off, then yeah, I don't read the cover letter at all because I don't need to hear the cover letter story. But the cover letter, I think, makes a big difference when you have several qualified candidates, for me anyway.
Bingo. That's why it's so low. Have you ever gotten resumes that exceed 2 pages?
Yeah, I have. Not too many though, because usually I'm recruiting people without a lot of experience. you know.
2 pages is more than 2 pages is too long. Yeah. 17% of hiring managers won't even look at it if it's longer than 2 pages.
I believe that. I know there is that 1-page rule, but I know it's hard to get it all on 1 page, especially
1-page rule is old and dated.
Yeah, because if you have a lot of experience, you want to list that.
1-page rule really only applies like if you're fresh out of college and first job and don't have a whole lot of experience and there's really nothing for you to put on there. And if you're going to try and list like all kinds of ridiculous things that they're not going to want to read, they shouldn't be there for 2 pages.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just for silliness sake, you shouldn't do that. But yeah. Otherwise, no. That's the only time that 1-page rule really applies anymore. Ever caught anybody lying on a resume?
I'm sure I have if I think about it a little bit. If I think about it a little longer. Actually, yeah. There are a couple of people that really like exaggerated a lot. Yeah. Like major exaggeration. And then after I worked with them, I realized they didn't have that experience. Yeah.
75% of HR managers have caught a lie on a resume.
75%. Wow.
What do you think has happened after that one?
In trouble.
Big time.
Yeah. Are they catching it before? They were catching it before, right? 75% before they hire them or before they call them in for an interview.
Yeah. So that's before your interview.
Yeah. And now there are the background checks too that they can run on you without information. Because I know before you had to give your social security number and all that, but now you can run, because I always run a check on people. You can just run it with someone's name and their state, really. And then all the public records come up, including social media.
Yep. So how about more of those? Now, that's the other thing I know you wanted to talk about a little bit was some of the stats for social media and hiring.
Yeah, these are interesting.
Oh, yeah, you've got some other good ones too. I have some more good ones, but I'll let you go ahead for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 90% of recruiters do look for people online. They run a Google search and they look for your social channels, which if they don't look good, if the content is bad, and if you're constantly, fighting with your most hated celebrity, that's really bad. It's really bad.
Not even your most hated family member. I hate to say it, but come on, it's true. You never, you never know.
It could be, I guess so. Or your mom, right? Like your mom.
Yeah, your mom.
I yeah, I have some relatives and I'll look, I get on Facebook and I see that they're having family feuds on Facebook. So yeah, I can imagine that would be bad. I mean,
You don't. Yeah, you don't want to do with the fighting on Facebook. You don't want to do any of the even the political stuff. Even going on about being unemployed can even look bad. Um, sometimes I see some of that and I back up. It
right.
makes it makes you take pause and wonder why on some things.
Or if they're talking about a former employer or things that happened at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain things that should never ever be given out or talked about at all.
Well, it's scary because when we were younger, that didn't matter, because we didn't have social media. So we didn't have to worry about it.
Now that people think we're 90.
Or I didn't have social media. When
I didn't either.
Getting my first job, yeah.
I didn't either, but I was just throwing jokes around. Okay, so how about how competitive the job market is? 95% of recruiters believe that the job market will continue to become more competitive. And what about standing out online, personal branding? Things like LinkedIn, and not even just LinkedIn. Really, your branding should match your channels. That's really the general rule.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But just becoming more competitive and being more competitive so that the person, I don't want to say the person next to you, but you know what I mean, is not chosen over you.
Mm-hmm. Right. And a lot of companies, one of the things that I do is, companies want the people in the company posting and tweeting about the company. So, they're going to want to make sure that your social channel looks nice and professional.
Higher up that career ladder you go, too, the more they're going to want you to be proficient with social media, too, and not be afraid to use it.
Mm-hmm. I hear that all the time. And I've trained, organizations, had their executives come in and learn how to do things, how to tweet.
Especially Twitter. People are so afraid of Twitter. But
mm-hmm.
especially when you have the president tweeting people at 3:00 in the morning or whatever. And it scares people, but you really do. Especially if you're in like marketing or something like that, you really do need to be proficient with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends on your job, but now it seems like no matter what you do, they at least want you to have a presence, because I know we're always tagging people too. If you're writing blogs for your organization or, we were adding up, I think, it's one organization I've been working with for a couple of years. They had 3 people on Twitter when I started, and now they have 80 people on Twitter.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not a huge organization, so 80 is a lot, but they didn't want to. So it was a long, hard road.
That takes people time.
Yeah, but now they love it.
Oh, I was afraid of it when I first started. I was petrified of it. Yeah. But now I'm like,
I remember the first time I looked at it, I was like, what is this? Like, I just remember being like, what? And then I didn't use my account for a few months, and then I went back and I was like, what? And then I finally started figuring it out.
Yeah. Once you start, it almost becomes an addiction instantly.
Yeah.
For some people, but
that was in the very beginning when they when they first launched. But then again, it's changed a lot since then too. They didn't even know what they were doing. Back then they would tweet back and forth to each other, the founders, about how to do things, and the team, like, what should we do? And they, actually created the hashtag through a conversation on Twitter.
And now they even have they allow more characters and stuff. So
yeah, it's easier now. It's way easier now
than 140.
What?
Than 140. That was like way too short for me.
Yeah, that was pretty short.
That was way too short. I couldn't do it. So always checking to make sure that your resume does not have any typos, grammatical errors, any type of errors. I know it always sounds so basic, but we are living in a world where we leave everything up to everything digital and Word and all of that, but it doesn't pick up on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? There are some questions in the comments. Can you see the comments?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can make them show up. Oh yeah, saying I have 2.5 pages with 20 years of experience and find it hard to cut my experience in education.
2.5 pages?
Oh yeah, can you see it on there? Oh, it's like just popping up.
No, I see something else.
And then someone else is saying, is it okay to publicly list my job position as actively interviewing on Facebook? I include a link to my LinkedIn and never use the word unemployed.
I tend to not put any work information on Facebook. That's what I've always tended to do, is not really put any work information on there on my personal Facebook. I didn't start doing it until I started my business, honestly. Even actually once I finished grad school. I always tried to keep them separate. I for some reason, I never mixed the two, but now I think it's super important to do it. Times have changed so much. Now saying that makes me feel like I'm a dinosaur, but
no.
But times have changed so much. I mean, you can put whatever you'd want. You can put actively interviewing. The word unemployed is not like a deadly word. It's not like the 7 deadly sins that you should never use it. But I think it's the matter of how long someone's been unemployed that somebody looks. But they're not going to really be checking that so much on Facebook as they would be LinkedIn. For Facebook, they tend to look at things like, what are you posting? What are you talking about? Do you have any awful pictures that we want to see? Like, no, I'm serious. Like, people tend to look at that more for, does this person do something on the side, or, are they what they say they are, or something like that. LinkedIn is where they tend to look for the more professional type of things. And that should definitely be up to date, but everything should be up to date.
Yeah. And I like to look just to see, when someone's applying or, I interview them, I like to look to see who are they? Like, what kind of person is this? Yeah. I mean, if they're talking about, torturing kittens or something. Yeah.
That's scary.
I'm just making up random things, but like,
I know, but if I saw that, even if I saw that before I even got on the phone with somebody, I don't even think I'd want to talk to them. That's just frightening. No.
Oh, no, I know. We're just like looking to see what they're talking about. And I don't know, you'd be surprised, like even people that, like people I know, sometimes I will like look at their replies too. You know how you can look at their tweets and the replies or what they're liking. I look, even for like people I work with, colleagues, business partners, like, I mean, it's not like something I always do, but if I haven't heard from someone in a while, I'll be like, oh, like this one person, I was like, he's not tweeting much. What is he doing? Because he just, messaged me. He just replied to my tweet. So I went in and looked at tweets and replies and likes, and he was liking stuff, and it was really weird. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I might not reply back. I was like,
well, you know, when people book a call with me, I always ask for their LinkedIn link. Dirty little secret. I like to make sure that you're actually doing what you tell me that you're doing when you fill out the application. You know, I've had people say to me, oh, I do XYZ, and then I go into their profile and it's something totally different. And if you're going to lie to me, guess what's going to happen?
yeah.
I'm going to cancel it.
Yeah,
I won't.
I tell someone recently something about their LinkedIn and their social media and just making everything, you know.
Really, you have to be consistent, but, you know, you have to be consistent and honest too. And as long as you're consistent and honest, I think that's what people really look for. And I think that's what speaks volumes. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, the person I was talking to, they have their LinkedIn as one thing, but then everything else is their like drumming. You know, like it's just all, you know, that it's not like anything work related. So I was trying to give some advice on that, because if they did want to do something, you know, someone's going to look and they're not going to see. I mean, it's fine to be well-rounded, but you want to make sure you're showing that you actually have had a job or that you have a job.
I mean, you could put in your past positions and still have like interest in, I mean, I know people that are doctors and PAs and run marathons in their spare time, and you know what I mean, incorporate all of that into their Facebook, and you know, do fundraisers for kids with diabetes or whatever, you know, like they incorporate all different types of things. But they don't just, you know, put straight professional post on a personal Facebook page. You know, they've got other stuff going, you know,
Yeah.
family, kids, you name it, whatever it is that they want to put, but they kind of integrate everything together.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what I was saying. I was like, if they look at your stuff and you say this, but you only have all of this, it doesn't, you know, match.
That's what I'm saying. You know, when somebody will do that and if it doesn't match, it doesn't sit well with me, because then I either tend to wonder, are you lying, or, you know, are you hiding something? And that's not good. That scares me, even just for me, but not also, you know, having to put somebody forward and help them get a job or whatever. That's frightening.
Yeah. Right. And then if it's and then the accounts that are locked down, that's another thing too. I do ask for their social media channels. And then, you know, I'll look, but then they're on lockdown. And I'll see, oh, you've posted 1,000 photos, but I can't see any of them. And why is this on lockdown?
That's the other thing that looks weird sometimes. I'm like, why do you have all these followers? You have all these channels, you have all these things, but then you have everything locked. No one can see anything. What are you hiding?
Right.
Just be transparent about it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Just the same way you should just be transparent about everything else, but.
Right. And then the other stat that I have is the 75% of recruiters rejecting people because they found something that seemed off on one of their social media channels.
That doesn't surprise me. You should be careful with that. You should be really, really careful with that.
But it is a good way. It is a good way to stand out because, you know, yeah, I mean, you can get job offers. I mean, just from, you know, well, I mean, I don't know if this is, but too much, but, you know, just from, you know, having an optimized LinkedIn account, you can get offers from that, or at least
I've
leave.
had clients who have. You can get offers just by optimizing your channels, just by just very simple things. You can make it a lot easier on yourself. The other thing that I think people tend to fall victim to is a skills gap.
Right.
I think that's the other thing. 35% of people agree that the skills gap has affected them. 60% of employers have openings that remain vacant for 12 weeks or more. 81% of employers say that prospective employees lacked critical thinking and analytical reasoning skills. 75% also think that graduates lack adequate innovation and diversity skills. So it's really important to make sure that you're not falling into a gap somewhere, because all of these things can just make you fall victim.
Yeah. Someone else has asked. Oh, sorry.
I'm just like, yeah, no, that's okay. It just got my attention. I'm just looking at it. Did you do something on the side? Yeah. You mean like a side business? Everyone does it. Everyone may not talk about it, but everyone does it. As long as it's not illegal, nobody cares anymore. I hate to say it, but it's almost, it's gotten to be so common, isn't it, Kelly?
Right. Yeah, I have, like, how many jobs do I have? I'm not sure. I don't know. I have my own company, but then I'm on boards and stuff, and every once in a while I'll have a little side project.
I mean, even between us, the boards that we're on, other things that we do, it's fine to do things on the side. Seriously, as long as they're not illegal and as long as they don't interfere with your job, or interfere with any other parts of the job, like a client or things like that, not a problem.
And but there are ways to optimize your accounts and your LinkedIn and everything so that people understand that. Because I just used to have all my stuff there, but I know, there are better ways to do that so people know, okay, this is my main thing, so people don't get confused.
There's ways to separate things so that people know what your main thing and what your side thing are.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to a side thing now. Everyone does it. It's ridiculous. It's gotten nuts.
And this is the one that popped up, about 2.5 pages. That's something that you're good at.
Yeah. This is something, whoever this is, I would actually love to talk to you. But if you're listing absolutely all 20 years, that's going to be problem number one. Don't do that. And it's not about cutting your experience. It's about keeping it relevant. Because if you're trying to list absolutely everything, and it's not even the education, you want your education on there, but if you're trying to list absolutely everything, then it just becomes too lengthy. And it just becomes not relevant to the positions that you're applying to. There's ways to get around that, but I could spend an hour talking about that right now. Relevance is my most important word about that.
Okay.
And if you need more help, I'm going to give you a link to.
I'm going to post that right now. I have it.
Because I have a feeling whoever that was, may need a little bit more assistance with that. Than what I can kind of get into right now, but Kelly's going to post a link for you to come talk to me.
There. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Good.
Okay. Thank you. What other questions do we have?
Let's see.
Underemployment and skills gap has been another big concern for people. So people want to make sure that they don't fall into a skills gap. And that's a little bit of a bigger issue than just, making sure that you don't have a spelling mistake on your resume. But it's something that can deeply affect people. And it's something that can deeply affect you going forward, looking for a job now, looking for a job later. It's no joke. Underemployment, same thing.
Mm-hmm. We've got another question. Yeah, and this is one for you. That's another one for you.
I always put it at the bottom. But again, if you want to come talk to me about it, about your resume, you can. Because I don't know exactly what it is that you're doing with it or why, or what it is that you're trying to apply for. So that answer might change. But all of that really does matter. So you may want to come talk to me.
And I have seen this done several different ways. So I think it just depends.
Yeah, it really does depend on what it is that the goal that you're trying to achieve with this. So that's why I'm saying this is what I usually do, but that may change depending on the objective here, what they're trying to do here. So my advice really would be to come talk to me.
Really does. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to see who asked, and I can't see it on this on the software, and so I was trying to figure that out.
That wasn't loud or anything, but
that's Kayla. Funny. That was from Kayla, and then Christina Paul. She asked about the resume, so and then Christina asked about the actively interviewing. Yeah. Oh, she asked about doing something on the side. So okay.
We even have stuff on the side.
Yeah, I think it's fun to do stuff on the side.
It's fun.
Writing. Yeah. People do writing on the side. Yeah. Me, sort of. I don't know if I can.
A lot of writing.
I don't do a lot.
Word positions. We do a lot of different stuff, but I love writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I was excited. I actually got to write something. I didn't mean to do it, but I did yesterday. I was like, wait, I have time. It's the holidays.
Hashtag written by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny. I know this is the time of year that it's like this best time to get stuff done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think definitely if you're looking for a job, you want to make sure that all your channels and your resume have the same vibe. I don't know if that's the word you would use, but
that's a good word for it.
Like the same kind of like look and feel, so that when they see your resume, they're like, oh, okay. And then they go and they look at everything else and it clicks.
Definitely want to make sure that they have the same vibe. Definitely want to make sure that they're going to get the same understanding when they look at everything. Absolutely. All of that just makes sense. And if it's something that you're not doing, I would, start thinking about how we can help you with that one, because you don't want to fall into a deep dark hole come 2019, brand new year.
Right.
That would really stink.
Yeah. So how many people are looking for a new job? New year, new career. That's my favorite saying right now.
New year, new you.
Yeah.
New year, new you. You definitely want to do it. This is the best time. Waiting till January is when all the competition comes out.
Yeah. Right. And you always hear, well, because of the new year, new career, or new year, new you.
Mm-hmm.
So many people do apply. So now would be an even better time to apply.
Now's the best time, even though, you may not get an interview like in the next 5 days. So what?
Will you be at
Um,
first? Because most people will probably be applying after the holiday, after they get back to work,
mhm,
or after the holiday, right? If they're not working right now.
after the holiday. And then they get inundated with resumes, and it's even worse.
Yeah, I remember seeing the HR, the recruiters at different companies where I worked at USA Today. They would have like for each position. This was back before things were digital. Back when people actually sent the paper resumes and they actually opened and read your cover letter because it came in the mail. But I just remember seeing the stacks of resumes for just one position.
You'd see like 250 just for one.
Right. But now it seems like, if it's not formatted correctly, if it doesn't stand out, it's going to get booted before they even see it. I mean, I guess that's an advantage in the past because you remember how they used to say to put it on like heavy paper, nice paper,
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't just plain white. So you would stand out in that way in the pile.
Yep.
But now
the resume paper that we had to go buy. Yeah.
Yeah, now you can't do that. I remember looking for this like really nice kind of like parchment paper and I wanted it to stand out. But now, you can't do that.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work anymore because you can't stand out that way. You could put it on any kind of paper and it wouldn't work because they don't even want to look at paper.
Right.
It's like we hand them paper and it's like shredder, where's the shredder? I don't want paper.
You can't even fax it. You can't even fax it.
Oh, did I tell you someone asked me if I had a fax?
Oh, really?
Oh.
I was afraid I needed a fax at one point because there are those virtual faxes now, but I thought I needed one. I signed up, ended up not needing it, because now you can just, email everything.
I was like, no, scan that puppy and put it in my email. Who's paying for a fax line?
Yeah.
Not this chick.
Oh, we have someone. Let's see. There's another question. How do I show that I acquired higher levels of responsibility within a long-term job?
That question is way too specific for me to answer in here. I know exactly what you're asking, but
yeah, that happened to me before. I had one job, and in that job, I had 14.
What did you say?
I said I had one job, but it was, sometimes at a startup or a company, how you end up moving around a lot. I moved around 14 times within the same place.
14?
But it was within what?
14? That's a lot.
Yeah, but it was within a couple of years, but it was just always changing because the department would be eliminated, because it was a startup. So it'd be like, oh, we're eliminating that department. You're not head of this. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was like a funny thing because I was one of the first employees there. And so I had 14. So like, yeah, how do you show that? Hard.
That happened to me too. It is hard, but that's something I would rather get into on the phone than in a Facebook Live.
And her link is in here to talk.
Yeah, that's extremely specific and extremely detailed and extremely. I may have to look at your resume before I can even give you an answer on that one.
That's tricky, yeah.
Because that's tricky.
But it's not too tricky.
No, not like that. But yeah. I'm just saying, for me to be able to respond in here, I may give a wrong answer, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good though.
It's a good question.
Double income, that's good.
I know, right? That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good thing.
I want to peek and see who said that, but I'm scared. Let me see, because my phone will start yelling at me. Oh,
I'm gonna sit back and like.
oh, I can't see it on here. It's funny because there's a delay between our video and this too. It's weird.
Um. Huh.
Hey, I like this software though. It's working out for us. It's working.
Well, at least this one worked.
Yep.
At least this one worked. At least something worked. I'm just trying to find where the.
I wish I could show what these background checks look like too. It's surprising how much when I do a check on someone, it'll bring up past names, any kind of property or whatever. It brings up all of their social media channels and email addresses, which I didn't expect, but it'll track back even your email address.
Sorry, that was my phone that time.
I don't know if you heard what I was saying.
I heard you. I'm just trying to find out who it was, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah. I think we might be able to see after. It's strange it doesn't pull the name.
Sorry, it's doing it again. I'm having too much fun with that. Oh, it was Christina. Okay. I'm going to stop now. That was annoying, huh? Who else plays with their phone while she's on? Sorry.
But that's another weird thing, though, with those background checks is that they can see your social media and then it also pulls up your old email addresses. So you can see all the weird email addresses people have created, too.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Now, see, I had some weird ones back in the day.
Yeah, like I had a weird one. I don't even know. I don't even know why I called myself like Casey Topaz or something on one of my emails. Like,
what?
Why?
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I think that was my AOL name or something. My AOL Messenger name, or not Messenger. My I don't know. Did you have AOL?
Oh, you're talking about email addresses. 35% of employers have a problem with unprofessional email addresses.
Oh, okay. There we go. Because yeah. I mean, now I just have like a regular personal one and I have my work one. But I know everyone used to try to come up with these creative ones, but sometimes, you know, when I run a check on someone, I'll look and I'll see some really weird stuff like, you know, sexy hot something something.
What? Don't put that in your resume whenever you do. And the other thing you probably should not be doing either, and I tell people this all the time, is sharing that email account. Because if that email is going to get lost or if it's going to go to someone else's phone and you're going to miss it, whoopsies, that's not good. You don't want to do that either. So there's all these little things that make a big difference. And the other thing that I didn't realize this until, I don't know how long ago, but they're actually looking at not just the actual email address itself, so like your name, which is really just what you should be using as a version of your name, but they're looking at where the email address is. So if it's like a Hotmail or a Yahoo, they're considering that to be outdated now.
Right. Yeah. I consider it outdated. I consider it when I see something. I mean, I don't even have I don't think I have my Yahoo anymore. I think like it was hacked or something. Yeah. I used to have one with my name.
Mine was a long time ago.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I had Hotmail. I don't know what happened.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
So there's just basically, the basic assumption now is that everyone should just have a Gmail account with their name to use to look for a job.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, it shows that you're tech savvy. I mean, you could also have your own email if you wanted to. You could set up if you have a website.
Yep.
But I mean, not a lot
You
of
don't
people do that
Yeah, you
though.
don't have to go that far if you don't want to. If you don't,
It's a lot of work.
and that is a lot of work. Most of the people I mean who have websites have like portfolios and things like that. So I mean, if that doesn't really apply to you, then I wouldn't go that wacko. Because that is a lot of work. Um, but yeah, I didn't realize the domain actually mattered too.
Mm,
But it does. That's another thing. It's not even just your name, of what you use.
yeah. Trying to think of old emails I've had.
Oh gosh, I'm not even gonna. I'm not naming them. That's embarrassing. No way.
Prodigy. Wasn't there something Prodigy? I don't know. Or Netscape. I don't even know if I had a Netscape address. I'm trying to think of like all the old ones.
God, Netscape. That's like, now you're really showing our age.
That used to be the best browser ever. That used to be.
Yeah, it was good, but you know.
Well, there are also the Outlook. So a lot of people use the Microsoft emails too. I think that would be okay.
What, Microsoft?
The live
Oh
emails.
yeah, I would think that would be fine.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that use those.
Yeah.
I still have one, I think, for my computer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the live ones, I think that would be fine. Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that use Microsoft for different things.
Oh, someone says CompuServe. Yeah, I remember. Wow.
Well, because Microsoft has like their own version of Slack.
Yeah.
They have like Microsoft communities or something. They have all kinds of stuff. Microsoft owns, um, what you call it? Not Zoom. What's that one I hate?
What do you hate?
Not Zoom. What's that other one that I don't like? Skype.
Oh,
Microsoft owns Skype. So I mean, there's a lot of different things now.
yeah.
Oh God,
Oh,
CompuServe.
yeah.
No, our age really is hanging out.
Oh, yeah. And then someone's saying they have their name at Gmail. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Your Gmail will also work with, I think it's at Google Mail. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah. Let me double check that because I don't want to be lying. But yeah, I think any Gmail address, it works with at Google Mail because they also had that domain for the mail. Little known weird fact.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was lucky.
You're more tech savvy than I am, though. So.
Oh, back in the AOL days here, we were told not to reveal you. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that is a great point. In the AOL days, you weren't supposed to. That's right. I remember now. It's like going way back. We had to make up names because we were scared to say who we were on the internet.
Yeah. That was like, don't use your name. Don't tell people. Don't take candy from strangers. Don't do like all those things that we were told not to do. Remember, I remember all of that.
Oh yeah. So that's why my name was Casey Topaz. That's why my name. I probably should.
I forgot what mine was. Actually, I have an idea. I'm just not saying it out loud.
Oh really? My sister
yeah.
were always so easy. It was like kitty cat something with her birth year. It was like always kitty cats. But she was younger, She was younger than me. She was.
I'm just not saying mine out loud. It's that bad. I remember that though. Yeah, you're right. Weren't supposed to say your name. Weren't supposed to tell people who you were. Weren't supposed to do this. Yeah. And now they're like, use your name.
Right.
I know who you are.
Names on the internet. We're rebels. All of us.
Open up your whole entire identity so everyone can steal your life on the internet. I'm fooling around.
That's funny. Yeah, well, good. We've all got the right emails now.
Yeah, that was a long time ago with AOL.
Yeah.
Oh, so what else do we have for questions? I know we're having a good time here chit-chatting for an hour.
Ways to stand out online.
ways to stand out online, ways to get a job faster, ways to start your new year off right. Don't ask me about losing weight. I haven't cracked that code. Um,
I'm trying to think of questions. What questions would I have? My questions, the things that I always, but like, it's not even a question. It's just like, you know, you hear about all the keywords and everything that are used, but I know that's like an in-depth conversation.
That is an in-depth conversation because some people think keywords. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Hold on. Some people get keywords and buzzwords mixed up, and buzzwords can be totally overused. So what people think are keywords are not always keywords, and they're not always using the right words. Does that make sense?
Right. So keywords are the ones that would help you get noticed.
Yeah.
The algorithm or whatever on LinkedIn, and also the resume scanners.
Yep. Yeah. So keywords are the ones that'll help you. Buzzwords are the ones that they're going to say, oh, I've read that so many times. Trash. And they're going to be tired of it. Buzzwords are the ones that are overused, you know, words that have been used like a gazillion times over in every single resume, every single cover letter, every single LinkedIn profile, and they're like, oh my God, make it stop.
That they see all the time.
Yeah, that they see all the time, and they're like, make it stop.
Could have sworn I had some things.
Like, did you ever see like those articles that usually come out like the end of the year? Like they'll be like overused buzzwords of like 2017, or you know what I mean? Like those things, like they'll come out, you know, and they'll tell you like all the overused buzzwords for the year.
Yeah. I don't know. I have some some old things that are supposed to be going out, but I thought it was funny, so I had them put on cards. I don't know. These are like buzzwords, like, but they don't really apply to when you're looking for a job. It's like bandwidth, low-hanging fruit, herding cats, elevator pitch. I don't know. I don't know.
Those are more for social, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's more for social, I think, than anything. When I say buzzwords, you know, they're meaning things like strategic, innovative.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like those words that everyone wants to use. Oh, I'm innovative.
People use to describe then on their resume. Okay. Yeah, low hanging fruit. That's one I get tired of hearing. Like in like just in like the business world in general, like just low hanging fruit.
Yeah, strategic is mine. Everyone wants to be strategic. Everyone wants to do something strategic. Everyone loves the word strategy. Oh my Lord, no. Everyone is obsessed with that word. It's true though. Do you ever notice like it's everywhere? Strategic partnership, strategic this, strategic that. Even LinkedIn has adopted it in their skills section. It's gotten annoying.
Yeah. But I see a lot.
To me, I think we're on overkill on that one, but
yeah. Self-starter, problem solver.
Yeah, problem solver, self-starter, motivated.
How about, well, now they say don't be a perfectionist. People used to say they were perfectionists, but now they say don't be perfectionist.
If you're telling me you're a perfectionist, I'm not hiring you. Let me just put it that way, right out there. Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to sit there and you're going to look at the same thing for hours. I'm going to pull my hair out.
Yeah. I know someone like that. Someone who works for me. I discovered that I think like that's why this person did that, because I think it was perfectionism. I think that's why it took so long to do things.
You can't. It is one of the worst things. You know what? Make a mistake. Make a mistake. Screw up. Go ahead. I dare you to do it.
He didn't have any mistake. I don't think he had any mistakes. You know, he was just like trying to make it perfect. And I'm like, it's
There's no such thing as perfect. There is no perfect. Make a mistake. Figure it out and learn from it.
Yeah.
I dare somebody to just please do that, because it is not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I am less likely to fire somebody for making a mistake. Yep, perfection equals inflexible. Absolutely. Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to be a perfectionist and you're going to think that you know everything and you're going to spend hours on the same thing, well, you don't want to hear what maybe you do want to hear what I have to say,
Let's
because
hear
I'm apt to not pay you for the same thing, sitting there working the same task for hours. You're going to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
And second of all, no one knows everything. And if you're inflexible, you're uncoachable. You're working for the wrong human being. It's true.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, perfection. Because you know what? Nothing's perfect, right?
Nothing is
I mean,
perfect.
nothing can be because we all have our own opinion of what's perfect. So I might think
Exactly.
perfect, hand it to my boss, and my boss was thinking something completely different.
Different. You can write something and you could think this is the most perfect resume. This isn't even a resume. You could think this is the most perfect resume, right? And you could have edited it 3 times. You could give it to a client who can say, that's not what I wanted. Even though you would have run it down from them 3 times that that's exactly what they were going to get. And that you checked the box on everything that exactly what they were going to get. And it's exactly the same thing. And you followed everything to a T. It may not be what they conceptualized in their mind that they were going to see when it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has a different idea of what things are going to look like.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that, it's a terrible thing. Everyone gets up and learns from it.
Yeah. That whole perfection thing, and just from we don't really do, I mean, we do live events now, and like Twitter chats and things like that. But especially when I used to do more in-person events, people would freak out if everything wasn't the way we planned, or something didn't show up, or like, oh no, we don't have this for the gift bags. But that's one thing I would always say. I would always tell people, the team, is that, guess what? All these people coming, they didn't know there was going to be chapstick in the gift bag. So they're they're not going to know the difference. So there's like no reason
Doesn't
to,
matter.
yeah, you can just do your best. Do your
They
best.
didn't know what software we were going to use tonight, and the fact that we had to change 3 times before we finally figured out which one was going to work. I mean, they didn't care. They didn't only care that we showed up.
Yeah. I tweeted about this. I don't know if you saw, I tagged you, but like right before I was like learning new software for live streaming 10 minutes before, and that wasn't like, I don't know what time it was, 7:28 or something.
Oh, I think
I don't know.
I just saw that.
Yeah, I told you, don't worry. I was like, we got this. Some people would be freaking out though.
I mean, all people cared was that we showed up. So, you gotta just figure it out and go with the flow.
Yeah, right. Go with the flow. Do your
Go
best.
with the flow. Do your best. Pick up and learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think there are more questions.
All right. Well, if people need more help, click the link. I'm happy to help. Very happy to help.
Click the link. Pick Valerie's brain. get all the info. But especially for those questions, where like it'd be better if you looked at their resumes.
It'd probably be better for me to actually have a one-on-one with you than to try and do it this way.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit here and do you a disservice and not be able to answer your question the way you need. Because then you're going to go out, you're going to try it, and if it doesn't work, then
Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible for that. That's for sure.
Well, this was fun.
This was fun. This was a lot of fun.
I like the Thursday evening. I don't know. What do you think? I like evening.
I like it too. I think this works out great. I think this works out better than Saturday. Hopefully next time we can get some more people to join us.
Yeah, I think several did. I guess we'll see the stats after. I don't know because I haven't actually used the software before, so I don't know. But it seems like we will.
Did it once before. It was a while ago. We haven't done one of these in a while. We need to do them more often.
Yeah, I like this. Now I've got it set up. We'll have to go do one on my page now. We'll have to go do a chat.
Right now, 8:30 at night, we're going to do one right now.
Let's talk about perfectionism again. Let's talk about.
Okay, what are we going to talk about? Somebody should have gotten me coffee.
I'm kidding. I know it's late, but yeah, I know.
No, we could do one. I'm awake a little while longer. Yeah, this was fun. We're gonna have to come back and do this again. Take some more questions, and I don't know. We'll talk about another topic, but I guess after New Year's because it's 3 days away, 4 days away.
I know. It's exciting. We have 2 holidays left within the next week. I was thinking about that today. And I was like, oh, we don't get one holiday, we get 2. We get New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll be into the new year, and oh boy.
And I think there's a football game. That's like a holiday, right? Big Super Bowl coming up too.
February.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think my birthday comes first, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I always know like that's kind of the next holiday. Well, Valentine's Day, Super Bowl, and then I don't know. There really aren't many holidays. Easter. That's it. So this is a good week because we get 2.
You would think this girl was doing something really fun.
Me? I know. I'm gonna hang out with my cats. I'm gonna hang out with my cats. I know. Probably.
It's just like, we don't get 1, we get 2. I'm so excited.
We'll do a live stream.
I'm fooling around now. Now I'm just getting tired and silly.
Well, all right. I can push end.
We had fun, and we will be back. I don't know when. We'll have to schedule another one after the new year.
Yeah. All right.
But don't be afraid to come chat with me. And if you need to chat with her, I can direct you straight to her too.
All right. Sounds good. I'll see you later.
See you later. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.